A lot of development comes from finding the right property, right? And making sure you can build what your vision has created. And so, one of the most important things about being a developer is finding land. And here I am in my beautiful town of Gary, Indiana, and I'm walking around a path here. And as you can see, this is vacant land. So we're not making land anymore. The country can't, the world can't develop anymore. Acreage, whatever exists is here. And whatever you do with it, you're going to do with it. And so whether you can find it in your own hometown or you find it somewhere else, you got to kind of like cut your piece out somewhere in the world in order to develop what you want to develop. And so as I navigate and walk, and you can see some people always talk about, areas and location. I'm not a location guy because I understand at a certain point location is not going to matter. It's going to be about, okay, what's available. Availability, right? So that's going to be my kind of like conversation with all newcomer developers, contractors and everything, because things like anything else, man, they change. You can't be saying the same old thing each and every year because it sounds good. So like this building here, that could either be a complete rehab, gut out. It's a 3-unit, 3-story building. Here, I'm going to show you the building that I lived in on the same block when I was growing up. So we can demystify all the assumptions and stereotypes and all that stuff. But once I became a contractor and a developer, I realized that sometimes information is hidden from you simply because they don't want you to know. Here's another building. Now, some buildings can be torn down. I may be walking in the sun a little bit, but every time I see a vacant lot, I see opportunity. Gotta learn how to use it, man. I don't care, there's no such thing as a bad area. There's no such thing as an area is not, you can't build on it, because eventually that same area that people are preaching that is bad, at one point, at a certain point, they're gonna be like, oh, that's in a vibrant community now. But no, you're gonna have to teach yourself to use words like you live in a neighborhood, you live in a community. You don't live in a ghetto, you don't live in a hood. That's just something to discourage the people who don't know better to get rid of something that's of value. And I'm telling you, if you change that way, you can change your life. So you see all this land here. I mean, it's going on what you think is what is your end game, right? Is your end game to own 300 units, 10 units, 15 units? What is it? Everybody has something. I just do it because of the joy. I'm not really having a number on that, whether it's 100 or 200 units. It's just I just have a joy of building. But find your land such as this. Find out what it's zoned for. Find out what you can build on here. Get with you a good team of architects, structural engineers, and if you're not a contractor, seek one out that's going to do something that you're doing. If is it a residential contractor or is it a commercial contractor? Look at their portfolio. Do your soil tests on the ground to make sure that it's buildable soil and dirt, because a lot of times, it could be contaminated, especially if you're buying like gas stations and stuff like that. It could be organic, where it's not conducive to hold any structure. So you want to get all that. Get you a boundary survey. And this is after you have decided that you want to build something. If I'm looking at this right here, I would ask somebody, do they have a survey? Now, the assumption is that you probably think that all this land is owned by one property and its owner, and it's not. Because I remember growing up, and this is the building that I used to stay in, probably when I was, I don't know, 8, 9 years old. And they finally succumbed to this. But just imagine this building here, similar to the ones that's down there. there's probably 7 or 8 of them on this road, which tells me there's probably 7 different lots, which means that you're going to have to either investigate it and find out who each owner, if they still present, or does the city or county owns it, if that's what you want to do. And you can probably build something here that is one building. You understand? So everything that you do, you're going to have to plan it out. These buildings was built probably in the 40s and 50s or whatever the case may be, probably before then. And they're probably built on 35-foot width lots. All right. Now, this, different cities and municipalities, depending on where you're going, may allow you to build something greater. You know what I mean? If you can combine these lots together. Right. So just giving you guys a little footnote, man. It's like, I'm in Gary, Indiana, and people are going to hear you use your own judgment of what you want to say, but I'm live. You don't hear no gunshots. You don't hear nobody screaming and yelling. You don't hear any of that. So, but I'm just giving you, my facts. I've been through all parts of Gary. And I'm going to end with this. I don't care what city you live in or what state you live in. There's going to be a certain part of your city that you do not want to go to for obvious reasons. Okay? There's going to be cities that you're going to be like, hey, that's not my cup of tea. And I'm just saying that to you right now. That's the same thing where I'm in Gary, if I'm in Chicago, if I'm in Detroit, if I'm in Cleveland, or whatever the case may be. So if you're gonna put a big blanket of everything, then you may miss opportunity if you're in the game of real estate development and contracting. So take a word of wisdom. Don't listen to everything everybody say, because not everybody wants you to win. Peace.